Salve, welcome and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are gonna be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the side story HORTUS de Escapismo. And as always, to anybody who is new to this narration and hasn't seen part 1 yet, the playlist for this whole thing is in the description of the video. And of course, if you haven't had the opportunity yet to read and see the story, do refer to part 1 as well for the beginning if you want to know if any other side stories are connected to this, if they're necessary to go through before this one, and so on and so forth. So, thank you very much and enjoy. And of course, thank you very much for all the likes and the comments, of course, on the previous episode. Those always mean a lot and they help a lot in the algorithm battle, so thank you very much for all the engagement that you guys always do. Thank you. But this is part 2, so we are gonna do a quick little recap of part 1 here. And as always, in the pinned comment down below, you can find timestamps if you want to skip over this and go straight to our section today. Alright then, well let's begin with on the previous part. We began our story pretty much the usual way of introducing several characters, several plots, and so on and so forth, so let's go in order. Well, we immediately get introduced to the law. We pretty much see it immediately at the beginning, and not just only in that very beautiful and stylized cutscene that I included from the official YouTube channel into the video, but we also see it in-game, and it's reacting stressful? Well, it feels danger approach, it tries to simulate solutions, fails, and immediately compiles a list of people who are gonna apparently be dealing with it. The list of names gets sent to the Pope Evangelista the 11th, and one of the names on the list is Federico, aka Executor, or rather Operator Executor as we know him. And the Pope has also decided to canonize Federico, aka he is assigning him the title of Saint, which means he will hold quite a lot of power in Laterano from here on onwards. We see the canonization take place, and right after that, he gets assigned his first mission. The mission is to go to the a up until very recently lost abbey of Laterano, mobile abbey to be exact, by the name of Sanctilaminium Ambrosii, that was lost for the past 60+ years, or rather contact with it was lost, but recently rediscovered, and 2 emissaries have already been sent over to establish contact, but communication with them has been lost, and the 2 emissaries that have been sent over were Oren and Lemuen. But Federico gets sent over as well now, together with 2 companions, one being Richele, aka Insider, and Serpilia, aka Spuria. But in the meantime, we also get introduced to several other characters. We get immediately to see, right after the canonization scene, we get to see Arturia, who is in the abbey, talking with the abbot Stefano Torregrossa. We then get introduced to other characters, one of them being Geralt, a Sarkaz hunter, who together with his Sarkaz companions lives amongst the people in the abbey. And yes, in the abbey we do see that Sankta and Sarkaz are actually living pretty much in peace and cooperation. We get introduced to other characters, one of them being a young male Sarkaz by the name of Raymond. And we get introduced to 2 other Sankta girls by the name of Fortuna and Delfina. We see that Lemuen is pretty hunky-dory there. She is being held captive by them, but also she's okay. No one is mistreating her. But Oren is kinda MIA and doing his own thing apparently. But we get also introduced to another character by the name of Clor, who is a Elafia living amongst them. And we also get to see another very shady priest by the name of HORTUS, who in his own lonesome talks to some kind of creature off screen. But the story progresses as our 3 companions, aka Federico, Richele, and Serpilia, arrive in, or rather at the abbey, and proceed with their investigation. And the moment they set foot on the abbey and start to approach the inner buildings, they get pretty much barred off by Raymond, who appears in front of them. Serpilia breaks off from the two of them and does her own thing and sneaks into the deeper parts of the abbey, while Raymond, while Raymond keeps blocking off Federico and Richele. The three of them do get joined then also by the abbot Stefano and Geralt, who arrive at the scene to see what the commotion is about. After exchanging some words, all of them proceed to go inside to have some talks. Meanwhile, Serpilia, who is on her lonesome exploring the thing, runs into Fortuna and they exchange a couple of words. We then see the men arrive pretty much inside of the abbey, and they start conducting talks and discuss the situation and what is going on. We also get to see Federico, who apparently wasn't so keen on the Sarkaz hiding who they are, considering that all of them that he's seen so far have been hiding their horns with a hood. Which, you know, there are horns, it's kinda hard to do so with a hoodie, but whatever. I recommend a top hat. Anyway, he demasks Geralt and flips his hood off just to see his horns, and from there on the conversation begins proper. We see also Arturia have being joined in the Sanctuarium, the sanctuary of the abbey, by two little bluey-berry twin children, as she tells them a story about pretty much the abbey itself. And as the children are not really happy with the very sad story that she is telling them, she gets quickly interrupted before she can continue with anything by the appearance of the shady priest Aulus, who exchanges a couple of words with her. There is a bit of tension, but the two break off and she returns to the kids and tells them a story, but this time about what appears to be Federico himself in his younger days. Meanwhile, the conversation keeps going on between the men between the couple of men. As the conversation goes, the situation becomes pretty much clear as to how stuff has to be resolved. The Sankta are invited to come back to Laterano, together with the abbey, of course, that is property of Laterano, but the Sarkaz who are living amongst them do need to leave, considering that the Sarkaz and the Sankta, as we know, have very, very, very bad blood between each other. Even though they do live here in the abbey pretty much at peace with each other, but that peace is also slowly now crumbling away. But the Sarkaz have decided to leave, essentially, and they will do so pretty much on the next day. Again, in the meantime, we see again more interactions with Serpilia and Fortuna. Serpilia, as she's trying to wrestle some information out of everything, offers to Fortuna that she will repair her rusted and dysfunctional gun that she's holding with her, and she proceeds to do so. As we see later in the scene, Fortuna has a repaired gun now and is back in her own place and is trying to prepare some sweets for everybody before they start leaving. She's very well aware of it, that everybody is gonna be going, even though the Sarkaz are trying to keep it hush-hush from certain people, not to stir too much feathers, as the saying goes. But Delphine, on the other hand, who is exploring or going through the abbey to some of her Sarkaz friends, does discover one quick thing, and that is that the Sarkaz have been very stressed for food, and they've been hiding it from everybody else. As she discovers on one of her friends that she's eating something that is filled with more sawdust than anything else. Talk about nutrition, right? In the meantime, we see one other resident of the abbey by the name of Clement, who is a Elafia, who was saved back in the past by Geralt and arrived together with Geralt as well at the abbey. Exchange a couple of words with his old buddy, as Geralt pretty much tells him that they will be leaving, and the two of them exchange essentially their goodbyes at that moment. The abbot decides to do a final sermon before everything happens the next day in the abbey, and has the bells ring to signal to everybody that a mass is being held. In the meantime, back in the room where Fortuna is and is preparing the sweets, Delphine arrives back, and the two have a kerfuffle essentially. Delphine having an angry discussion with Fortuna, and Delphine is trying to wrestle away the gun from Fortuna to give it to her, but Fortuna is declining it and is holding steadfast onto the gun, but in that very moment the gun lets loose a shot and it hits Delphine point blank and she collapses immediately. Fortuna, who panics at the sight of that, immediately goes to seek help. She arrives at the chapel where the abbot is waiting for the residents of the abbey to arrive for the sermon, but Fortuna arrives first, all bloody and covered in the blood of her best friend, seeking help in a shaky voice. And the abbot immediately recognizes not just by the blood that something is wrong, but also by Fortuna's appearance, as she has effectively, even if it was a mistake and an accident, she has effectively fired off her gun at another Sankta, and that has immediately made her a fallen Sankta now, and horns have immediately started protruding on her forehead. On the scene in the chapel arrived then also Federico and Richele. They immediately assess the situation, and Federico declares that a commandment has been broken and that we have a fallen angel. And that is pretty much where we have stopped last time. So then, let's proceed. Alright then, so today we shall be covering the story for stages 3, 4, 5, and 6. Including the, obviously, training stage that is there, but as always, only the description for the stage will be provided. And I swear, right now, I am not intentionally leaving on certain cliffhangers. I was thinking on stopping on part 5, but that was a cliffhanger. Part 6 is... well, you'll see. You'll see when we get there. I'm totally not leaving you, especially because this is coming out on Christmas Day with, intentionally with that cliffhanger. But, you know, stuff happens. Anyway, let us begin with stage 3, titled No Empty Hands. A savvy raider will never return empty-handed. Let's begin. The sensation is hard to describe. There is a strange itch on her forehead. The halo atop her crown flickers with no rhyme or reason. Her view begins gradually to dim. Yes, Fortuna can see the wrinkled abbot's incredulous gaze and hear the noise of the onlooking crowd. But she attempts to feel the old man's mind, as she may have done every time before, and yet his emotions no longer drift their way into her soul. Not even a hint or trace. She cannot sense the other Sankta. She is no longer one amongst them. Fallen? What's the meaning of this? What's happening to Fortuna? Is she sick? I'll explain on the way back. First we handle the pressing matters here. Stefano! Save Fina! I'm begging you, save her, hurry!
Child, do not panic. Tell me clearly, what is it that happened?
Fina was bleeding everywhere, and I couldn't stop it. I couldn't find anyone to help. It was just a dumb fight. Fina wanted my patron firearm. I should have just given it to her. Why didn't I just give it to her? It's all my fault.
Fear not, child. There is naught to fear.
As informed by present circumstances, I would consider this a case of accidental injury with no subjective intent to harm.
Silence, Executor! You would accuse this child of aggrieving her own kin? How can your finger know to lay such blame?
It is the most rational assumption. Rejection by the commandments is not insurmountable. Unintentional discharges are particularly common.
The sheer drivel!
No, he's right. It was me. I pulled the trigger.
Fortuna, no, you...
I was Stefano. It was my fault. I'll take it however they punish me. But Fina still... She's been hurt. Please, you have to save her.
Fine, I'll see to it now.
I'll go. I'm good with first aid. Give me a location. Just go to my room.
I can show you the way.
If you would, Clement.
Less talk, more action. Move.
This way. Follow me. Here. Right here. The door's wide open. Oh, the blood. Delphina!
Quiet down. You want everyone to hear about this? Move. Let me work. No, she's in bad shape. Bleeding's too profuse. And her wound is...
What do we do now? Flowers. Right. I remember His Excellency saying the Sacrarium's flowers could be used for healing. Yes, right, they have to be. Wait while I pick some.
Don't bother.
Let me go. If I leave right now, we might still make it.
There's no point. Even if we stop the bleeding, we're out of time.
What? How can there be no point?
Because there isn't one. She was shot point blank. Severe loss of blood. I can't detect breathing. I've tried first aid. Nothing. I couldn't get a pulse.
No breath and no pulse.
It's very likely she was taken instantly. The girl is dead.
I've locked the entrance. No one was around, fortunately. We can't have many eyewitnesses. How are we handling this? We wait for Serpilia to conclude treatment. Halo discoloration is characteristic of a fallen angel. She is falling rapidly. With consideration for stability within the monastery, this is my suggestion. Cancel the sermon and lock down all news of this. I have a proposal. In order to avert unnecessary conflict, I and my colleagues will take over patrol duty for the following interim. All inhabitants should return to their rooms as soon as possible and await final verdict tomorrow. This will ensure to the maximum extent that there are no further accidents.
Reverend Executor, this abbey is not under Lateran jurisdiction until it arrives at its final destination.
I am aware.
We can address any problems within the monastery on our own. We wouldn't hassle our Lateran visitors. As you so rightly indicated, Reverend Executor, this was simply an accident. Given we still don't know Delphina's condition, this could all be a false alarm.
Accident or not, she has fallen. It is mandatory that issues of fallen angels are assessed and addressed personally by His Holiness and the Sacred College of Cardinals.
So you want to take her back to Laterano? Not that I've once seen a two-horned Sankta in Laterano, not ever. Tell me, Reverend Executor, How can her being addressed inspire trust in me?
Well, Federico, I'm just mentioning this, but didn't His Holiness tell you to keep an eye on how often you contradict people?
What? I am not manifesting any contradiction.
Okay. I mean, your approach could be a little more conciliatory.
I do not understand your meaning. But thank you for the suggestion.
I'll take it. I think we're not going to get anywhere arguing about it here. Seeing as we can't leave for now anyway, we might want to find a place for Senora Fortuna here to catch her breath for a while. Once we have the situation under control and everyone's calmed down somewhat, we'll still have plenty of time to discuss how exactly we resolve this. And most Reverend Abbot, you don't have to be so wary of Laterano. Similar cases have happened before. As long as we are sure the commandments weren't violated with malice, the punishment should be light, at most. Right, Federico?
Correct, but you did not have the authority to divulge that information, Richele.
Look, special circumstances. Just the both of you consider it.
I have no objection. I worry.
Oh, Stefano, don't. It was my fault. Whatever the punishment is, I'll accept it.
Fortuna.
I'll go with you, senor.
Then we're decided. I'll find Senora Fortuna somewhere to rest. You two stay here for the moment and calm down. This room looks good enough. Very spacious to boot. Don't worry too much. Your case is a relatively special one, and I imagine His Holiness will get personally involved. As long as there wasn't intent to harm, it shouldn't end up too severe.
Venus.
Is Fina the wounded Sankta citizen? We still can't be sure of her condition, but my colleagues should be treating her now. Let's think positive. Things may not be that bad.
My horns.
Hmm?
I wonder why I'm growing. Horns like a Sarkaz?
Well, that I'm not too sure myself. In any case, someone will tell you once we're in Laterano. For now, just rest up here.
Okay.
I'll be outside the door. If you need anything, just knock for me. Who knows how Federico's going to handle this? You know what? I am a pretty sensitive guy, if I'm being honest. I always get this cold sweat when someone's creeping around behind me. The fun's over! Come out, Oren! Just one question. How'd you see me? I was just bluffing, actually. I didn't think you would come out. You're not expecting me to believe that, are you? Why not? I'm good either way. Whatever, Richele, you little cheat. Don't say that. I'm more honest than Serpilia, at least. She's one of yours, isn't she? She was lying. No, not outright, I guess. She just declined to say everything. Where is this coming from? We were asking her about her relation to you. All she effectively said was, I couldn't care less about him, without revealing anything else. She was dodging Federico's questions. And that's your entire reason for saying she was lying? Don't you think that's a weird conclusion? I think having the same skill under my belt helps. Besides, look at the situation here. It's easy to guess how you'd act. And I'd also guessed how Federico's guessed. There's no meaning with you. Plan A should have been dragging him off for drinks, after all. Followed by him carting you back to Lateran. This monastery's guests have more swagger than you think. Can't say Federico would care to wrangle me once it's all going down. Sounds like trouble really is brewing here. So, Oren, what are you and Serpilia planning exactly? Once you hear me out, are you gonna help me? That remains to be seen. I'd have to hear the answer first to decide.
Federico, I've got bad news. Wait, is there anyone with you?
Richele is not here.
Who cares about him? I mean, is that Fortuna kid with you?
No, Richele escorted her to her accommodations. If you have discovered anything, please inform me. I require confirmation of the aggrieved citizen's condition.
Fine, then I'll give it to you straight. We were too late.
Confirmed deceased?
Confirmed. It was a fatal gunshot wound. Bearing a true miracle, she's not coming back to life. Oh, and a guy with me called Clement. He said he was going to pick some flowers and I didn't care. I'll let him go. He was out of his mind when he left.
Flowers?
Per the intel, the abbey speciality. Not many left right now, I gather, and that's not important. The whole was an accident, Federico. The girl wasn't lying. Accidental discharge. It might not be all that severe.
His Holiness will judge.
Sure, I mean even Mostima flies with him. I'm sure our Holiness will forgive him. Will forgive with wide arms just like always. I'll contact Richele in a bit. I'm sure he misses being free range. It'll be me watching the girl. I won't let her run off. As for how Lemuen and Oren are doing...
Has Oren Argiolas made contact with you?
Am I under suspicion here?
By my judgment, yes. Oren's movements were not placed under any restrictions. Failure to contact the Laterano is conduct of his own subjective. The Sarkaz are involved in these affairs. I conjecture Oren would not immediately leave. If he wanted all leeway for operation, it would require finding a collaborator.
And so you suspect me. But what about Richele? No thoughts about him?
Richele does not have as ample time to act alone as you do. His level of suspicion ranks below yours. His level of suspicion, pardon.
You're a smart cookie, Federico. Here's my comment. No comment. All guesses here are yours. I haven't said a thing. Good, good. I'll be in touch. Oh, yeah, is the abbot there?
Yes.
Are you going to relay the news to him?
That is unnecessary. He has heard it.
Delphina, I must see for myself. I need to see the child.
Your Excellency may act freely. However, Serpilia would not misjudge. I do not recommend spending additional time on reconfirming. I am tentatively assuming Oren Argiolas is still aboard and has some sort of scheme. I must now ascertain in detail all movements he made prior to his disappearance staying at this monastery, as well as all recent absence and returns of monastery personnel. I ask you comply.
Reverend Executor, what is necessity to you? What line do you draw between the necessary and unnecessary? Can you truly not hear your kin lamenting? Does emotion truly mean nothing in your mind?
I will not deny that.
And should that be, you are no worthy harbinger of paradise. And should you represent Laterano, Laterano is no worthy shepherd of my fate.
Please answer my questions, Your Excellency. Has Oren acted abnormally in any way within the monastery? Have any other people lodged recently at the monastery?
My words are wasted on you. Do as you will, Reverend Executor.
Finished. Trust him to use up every last page of a notebook this thick.
Lemuen heaves a sigh and closes the antique plain-colored notebook shut. Her fingers trace over the nicks and scrapes that decorate the cover, each one hiding a story of its own.
If back then... Oh, what am I thinking? Right now then, it's time I get to work myself. With Serpilia's group already here, I can't keep on dawdling. Is someone outside? If you're looking for me, you can come right in. Well, that's not a guest I'd expect. Sorry, visitor, but you came at a bad time. I don't have any tea to offer you.
Alright, and before we continue with the after part, we do have one new enemy here to add to the roster, which this time around is the Wasteland Robber. And it says here, a member of a bandit gang operating in the Wastelands using stolen weapons. They are not soldiers and lack professional training, so stealing goods is more important to them than anything else. And now let's continue.
We don't usually greet our visitors at gunpoint, save for special occasions. Pardon me if you're dissatisfied with your treatment in any way.
The twisted monster lets out an indecipherable howling. And very quickly, for those of you who might just be able to listen to this narration and not able to watch the screen as well, the monster in front of us is a Sarkaz female who is about 80% turned into a seaborn.
Not reacting at all to what I say. Is communication completely out of the window? Not many human features left to show. Is it all hidden under those scales? I remember Iberian files mentioning this sort of mutation before. You couldn't be... Nope. The wheelchair is not going to cut it. Strange. Something's not right. Is its target not me? Where is it aiming? What is it trying to... Too close! Forget it. I'll have to worry about it later. Nuh-uh. Just because I am physically handicapped doesn't mean you can pick on me, visitor.
The twisted monster lets out an angry howling and backs off.
Stop right there! Nope, I can't just let you slip away.
When the elderly chat, the topic inevitably turns to Laterano. They call it bright, abundant, safe for all, disturbed by none. They say it's true paradise on Terra. The truth is, they all know the monastery's been adrift for decades, and only a dwindling few remain who've actually seen Laterano before. Perhaps 2 or 3, or maybe just its bishop Stefano now. They bring up Laterano, but the object of their nostalgia is a dream they're long overdue to wake from. A dream where the sun shines and the flowers are underfoot forever. Just as the monastery used to be, all those years ago. They're about to wither. They bloomed earlier than last year. I could guess they'd wither sooner too. I just didn't think it'd be this soon.
The few you picked were in wonderful blossom. They're not about to wilt yet. How pretty. We'll be receiving these.
I'm too late. There's no giving them now. They can't save anyone.
Sorrow, pain, despair. Such complex overtones. There are other emotions hidden inside you too. Are you angered?
I wouldn't dare. You're a guest of His Excellency, Senora Arturia.
You wouldn't dare, that's all. A very honest answer. My intuition has always been unusually accurate, Senor Florist. You seem to love me a little.
No, not at all. You needn't worry.
If anything is troubling you, I could be of help to you, I think.
Help? I'm not sure what you mean, Senora Arturia. What would you help with?
This hinges on your thoughts. It's not something for me to decide. Of course, you may not need any help at all. Call me meddlesome if you wish, or a bearer of bad intent, none of which I would mind. It's for you to say. I just want to hear your thoughts, your own thoughts.
You're a strange one, Senora Arturia.
You flatter me.
You say you can help me.
Of course, so long as you need.
No, there's no need. Perhaps you could. Well, there's a great many you can help, but you can't help me.
Oh?
Senora Arturia, would you claim to be able to raise the dead?
No.
Can you make the harvest rich, or at least let the cold winds stop?
I'm very sorry, but I can't.
And can you return us to your original lives? See that the barriers of old are no more? You could never.
Then what of you, Clement? Have you never once entertained being able to solve all you speak of by your own hands?
I've tried. But it was no use. I've tried more than once, but I couldn't do it. The more effort we put in, the worse things get, more often than not. No one can make it all better. The abbot can't, Geralt can't, and neither can I. You can help me, Senora Arturia. Please, don't bring this up again, and don't think I need the help of someone like you. You ask what my thoughts are. Let me tell you, I have no thoughts at all. What else can I come up with? The coming winter is too cold.
Cold. Yes, this heart is like soil frozen through beneath a sheet of iciness. Yet I can feel notes lurking beneath the ice. I wonder how powerful they will move us. It's not yet time. This composition is not bound for completion yet. Such unbearableness, such tolerance. In times like these, I cannot help myself. Let me see. This melody is a perfect fit for the occasion. Federico, I told you your melodies are too rhythmic, too unperturbed. You should know that an all too rational melody will lack these sentiments to shake people. There's no warmth nor passion. Sometimes I can only be curious. Federico, when will you finally realize why it is you search?
Strings? No, this is more than strings. There are originum arts affecting something within. These arts and this melody, could they be... The sounds are nearing. Are they above? What's today's song? It's beautiful. Do you hear music every day here? Who? I'm Executor Federico of the Notarial Hall. Please answer my question. Notarial Hall? What does that even... Oh, I see, you're that guest from Laterano they were talking about, aren't you? Sometimes you can hear this music around this time. I'm not too sure myself. Oh, right, I believe I heard about someone by the
sacrarium who plays a cello or something. Where is the sacrarium? On the roof. Take the stairs outside and you'll be right... wait! Excuse me, senor! What was the rush? Such a strange man. Welcome back, boss.
Yeah, how ready are we to move out?
More or less good. We don't have much to take with us, and we'd be overburdened anyway if we did. But there's been no word from the young ones we sent out to scout the way. They might not make it in time for tomorrow morning.
Wait a little longer. Stefano and I have talked it over. That we're leaving, he'll let it be. So no need to rush it now. If we still hear nothing by nightfall, then I'll take a team myself to find them.
Sure, I'll update everyone in a minute. Oh, boss, there's one other thing.
What is it?
Hyman hasn't come back either. I looked around for her, but she's nowhere to be found.
Is Raymond still gone as well?
Yes.
Got it. Leave this to me.
Okay. But if Hyman never shows up, should we, wait?
Tomorrow morning at the latest. If anyone's still not back after Matins, you and Raymond will set off with the rest as planned.
But
I'll stay behind. Dead or alive, I'll find Hyman. I swear, I'd never abandon a single one of you.
That's all we're worried about. You always take too much on yourself.
Let's not bring up that name again. You call me boss. I have a duty to find you a way out.
And I see you walking down a dead end.
I know what I'm doing. Forget all that. No need to look so sad. Go on. Get everything good and ready.
Shift change.
That's a fright. Hi there, Serpilia.
Who else would you expect? Does Federico ever bother with this sort of work? How's the girl in there? Doing bad?
Bad in a way. She hasn't said a word. Seems she's in shock.
I eyed over the scene. Aren't you the least bit curious about what actually happened?
I can more or less guess. You and I both know how powerful a gun is. With that much blood loss, everyone would be doomed, wouldn't they? Your face says I'm on the mark.
Did you tell her?
What? Oh, as in that she might already be dead? Of course not. She's unsettled right now. Telling her the truth could just as well cause more problems.
So what is your plan? Lie to her and say nothing's wrong? Muddle through, figure out the rest later, I bet.
You make it sound so bad. But still, that's basically it. Serpilia, something seems a little fishy with your emotions. What happened?
None of your business. I'm doing great.
If you say so then. No problems in Serpilia land. Okay, I'll leave the rest to you.
Every undependable bastard's on parade today. An accident caused by an unintentional discharge. And so what? If I hadn't helped her... What? Make it quick. Wait, what do you mean Sarkaz in the other vicinity? Are they still trying to break your blockade? Just a few? Scouting the road? Fine, got it. What about Oren? No, you can leave Oren to me. I'll contact him. Listen, here's what you guys do next. Seriously, what a good runner. Or maybe I just lost it. Back in the old days, I would have put them away clean in a fraction of the time. Times like these, I can't help but feel a little mad. There you are! Guess it's not the time to brew just yet.
The sound of strings is growing clear. I'm steadily approaching the source. But the arts are diminishing in strength. Are they giving up casting or... Who is it? Senor Federico? What are you doing here? I was not referring to you. Excuse me? Are you lost? If you don't mind, I can... Stop talking. But what was that? That monster? I do not know. It's fled downstairs. Not good. Geralt's group live down there. Stay still. Someone is here.
I heard gunfire this way, so I came to test my luck.
Cardinal Aide Lemuen, Serpilia's report stated that you would not be operating in the field.
Quick stop here. I forgot to mention this in the previous part, but I was very curious, so I put Aide and Lemuen separately in to see if they come up with anything like Latin words, actual Latin words, considering that's her name and surname, and I had a hit on both the name and the surname. So the name Aide translated to help. The surname Lemuen translated to smooth. Do with it what you will. I found it very funny. I mean, considering that her sister's name, Excusii, translates to I apologize, I think it's on point, right? Anyway.
Don't blame her. If I'm honest, I didn't think it would be either. But then came a slight twist. We'll catch up later. Are you on your own, Federico? If nobody else... Is nobody else operating with you?
I'm on my own.
Then let's keep it short. I'm on the trail of a surprise visitor. I won't keep you too long. So here, be good and tell me. Which way did my visitor happen to go?
Run. She has a gun. Alright, and we continue on to the training stage, which is titled Absolute Peace. If the building itself is riddled with holes, how can the people within hope to avoid disaster? And we continue on to our next battle stage, which is titled My Life I Gave for You. Behind a quiet and comfortable life is someone protecting you from the wind and rain. I'm a little surprised, because I've come to turn my back on the faith. Because of what you're evading, Stefano. I don't know whether you're under some outside influence, but if... There are no ifs, Saulus. I am not so far gone that arts would sway me. There are times when arts doesn't need to change our minds at all. All too many things can impact us, Stefano. You're asking that I reconsider. Why, heretic priest? Is this decision of mine not what you always wanted to see? I cannot deny it. But in turn, I have to recognize that back when this extraordinary building was still in Iberia, it was my fortune to study here, and those days were precious like little else to me then. In this way, Stefano, I'm just like you. I feel for this place, just as you do. I still remember the cleric who came with you from Laterano. I remember very many. The one you recall took his gun 60 years ago and made the decision to fall in line with the Church of then. Why? I chose to stay behind and protect those who were left. And this fed your faith, enduring until now. If you know so well, why would you still have me continue to wait, to endure? Are you about to refute all that you've maintained and proclaimed, just to turn around and tell me to deliberate, exhort me to stay fast? Of course not. Stefano, you know I wouldn't. But at core, I walk the path I believe is right, and so I would hope I could say the same of you. Tomorrow morning, should you still be committed, I will consider it your choice then. And will prepare what you need. If you are not yet decided, I will advise you to continue contemplation. Whatever it may be, I hope your decision will be that you find truest. Aulus, you wrongly assume one thing. And what is right? I am lost for any other choice. Very well. Should this be truth's ordain, then I will welcome you, Stefano, my brother anew.
Mind if I come in? You can. Excuse me? You're not doing too hot then. Can I ask a question? Sure. Is Fina not with us anymore? Not to push you, but I'd prefer some other question. I'm not really up for lying to you. Okay. Actually, I had an inkling all along. When it happened, I just suddenly couldn't feel Fina anymore, even though she was so angry and so upset. And she was right there in front of me, right? But I couldn't find her anywhere. If I hadn't helped you fix up that gun. No! Don't say it, please. Alright. I felt the horns on my head. They're horns, just like Raymond's. I can't ever pray holding my gun again, but at least I finally fit in with Raymond and Caroline. I fit in with everybody.
The flowers weren't blooming this early last year. Funny timing now, huh? No complaints though. One less bloom for the road. And so... that'll do it.
Repeat that. We have a fallen angel? That Fortuna girl?
Yes.
I wasn't expecting that one, let me tell you. Fallen, our only option is to hold on until we get back. Then let His Holiness decide. It's not something we can handle right here. But that surprise visitor who barged into my room is a different story. Federico, there's some things I'll explain to you later. For now, anything's a non-starter unless we find that visitor. Whatever it is. I require your assistance, Executor Federico. It has mobility on its side. I managed to chase it down this far, but that was a stretch, and I've lost it now anyway. Huh, no immediate reply? That's rare. You're making me feel like something bad happened to you. Hey, I see those knit brows. Something bad did happen then.
I heard strings.
Strings? Did you? I don't think I heard anything.
Based on my inference, the sound came from the sacrarium on the top floor.
Right. Let me be real. I've gotten to know the length and breadth of your work at the Notarial Hall, which is why I'm relatively willing to trust your judgment. I am now formally quarrying you. Notarial Hall Executor Federico, do you truly believe this unidentified, unascertained, and possibly completely benign sound of strings stands to be more important than the request for assistance I'm making of you?
It does not.
Obviously not.
The occurrence of the sound is a chance event. I have suspicions about it, but I cannot deny that I, as of yet, find no direct correlation between it and our catalogue of current affairs. Based on present circumstances, I judge that priority should be given to providing requisite assistance, in tandem operation with you.
Hold on then. Alright. I'm not here to bully you anyway. Just, I do need to check in with how you're doing real quick. I see now. Point me in the direction. I'll continue target pursuit, and I'll leave you to sort out the strings debacle.
This mission requires that we prioritize assuring yours and Oren's safety.
Due diligence is great and all, but I say priority is the kind of thing you need to judge yourself. I can't sense your emotions, Federico. Still, I have this Liberi friend, see, who's the reason I learned long ago how to guess what people are thinking. Couldn't do empathy with her after all. She might be a lot easier to figure out than you are, but some things carry over. One teensy little word of advice. Maybe sometimes you need to learn to trust your instinct. That settles that. We don't have time to waste, and I've gotta force myself to be a little active anyway. Operation a go! Move out, everyone!
Speed up. Signor Federico, wait a moment, please. What exactly do you think is up there? It was just the sound of strings and we can't even hear it anymore. Are we really going to let this Signora brave the danger on her own? She's in a wheelchair after all. You have no need to worry. How could I not worry? I just saw it myself. It was a monster. Lemuen was admitted into the Laterano by personal invitation of a cardinal of the 7th Tribunal. Her strength defies any contempt. Do not underestimate her. I don't quite follow what you're telling me. I assume you mean she's just as mighty herself? But what if? Speed up, or stay where you are and wait. I suggest you pick the latter. It is the safer option. Empty? No. Subtle noises spill through the spacious aquarium. The loading of the gun keeps audible lockstep rhythm. The executor suddenly points. Come out. I will only warn you once more. Come out from there.
Ah, he found us. He found us. He's just like the lady said. Yeah, the big man found us right away. Is he really the man she was talking about? He's got the wings and ring, and they're all black. It's him, must be. Mister, my name is Arendelle. I'm Miss Tara.
Very quickly here, before we continue, the names of these two kids. I was very curious, considering certain characters, side characters in this game can get named by, real myth, legend, yada yada. I was curious if this leads to anything. Didn't get a hit, but did get, well, for real myths and legends, did however get 2 hits. One was for the works of Tolkien, where a elf by the name of, very similar to Arendelle, exists, just spelled differently. I don't know if it's differently pronounced, but it's very similar. Probably not what this is referencing. However, I found something else. I will leave, if I don't forget, the link to the article, and it is from last year, around the beginning of last year, where the Hubble telescope, and it was officially, I think, also posted last year by NASA itself, the Hubble telescope discovered the furthest away observable star, and they named it Arendelle. It is similarly spelled. The only difference is that there, in the star's name, there is an EA at the beginning. So there is one extra letter, but the rest is spelled the same way. Now I do wonder if someone on the writing team, and considering the recent string of stories for this game, if someone on the writing team, wasn't being cheeky there and was like, Arendelle, that's a nice name. And I mean, the other kid's name here is Estara, which has star in it. I wonder if that's the actual correlation. If someone actually knows if the names are referring to anything, or if the story later will teach us what it is, do not say anything. Anyway.
Where is the woman who described me to you?
He looks really, really scary. You're too scary, and you didn't even say your name. That's just rude. Mama says if you don't know someone's name and they're a stranger, you shouldn't tell them anything.
Federico.
Senor Federico's scary. Is he a good guy? I bet he is, just like in the story. We can tell him then, right? Probably we can. Well, someone told us we had to wait here for a really scary big man with a black ring on his head, just like she has. And she said you'd find Mama with us. Yeah, and also she said we were only allowed to wait a little bit, tiny bit, and if you didn't come, then we come out ourselves. She said we couldn't stay here forever. And also she said... Senor, quick, there's a fire!
Get out for now. Cover your mouth and nose. A fire has broken out. Captain Obvious.
Alright, and we have another quick enemy here or a new enemy here to add to the roster, which is the Wasteland Plunderer. A member of a bandit gang operating in the Wastelands, equipped with the best gear the bandits can get their hands on. When life becomes unsustainable, some gave in to their desperation, becoming voracious outlaws roaming the wastes. And let's continue.
Fire devours all indiscriminately. One fire can destroy everything, no matter how precious, no matter how treasured. Geralt once said the Sarkaz have no home, only war that follows them wherever they go. They swore fealty to their lord in the hope of finding a home of their own. He left because he became disappointed. I did not dare to ask why he was disappointed. We were full of hope when we first came here. We were happy despite the hardship. But now they are leaving. Is it because life here has disappointed him in the same way? What about me? I am watching the things I treasured burn before my eyes. Burning. Fading away. Gone. all gone.
Fire! Fire! This aquarium is burning. Get water! Water!
What's going on? Is that a fire?
Raymond, what are you doing here?
I thought you had... Now's not the time for that.
You're right. This aquarium is on fire. Give me a hand.
This aquarium? How did this aquarium catch fire?
How should I know? Fires have happened before, but nothing as bad as this one, and the timing. We need to put it out. Thank goodness it wasn't the residences.
Keep fighting the fire. I'll get help.
Water! More water!
The fire's too fierce. Careful of the smoke. Close the door. That might keep the fire from spreading.
What are you talking about? It's this aquarium. The holy statue is in there. Closing the door won't put the fire out.
That's not what I mean. But it's too dangerous right now.
A wise decision.
What do you know? Who are you? Kids? No. How could you bring children to a dangerous place like this? Stay away. It's not safe here.
You're right. It's not safe. You've inhaled a lot of smoke. Continue to do so and you'll begin experiencing symptoms of smoke inhalation.
So what? Got anything useful to say? Never seen you before. You're Sankta, right? From Laterano? That's a holy statue of Laterano. Do something!
The mission does not involve the statue.
What are you talking about? Now's not the time to talk about some mission. Use your arts to put that bloody fire out, or get out of the way if you're not gonna help.
I'm afraid I'm unable to use arts suitable for that purpose. More people are needed to fight a fire and minimize damage.
I'll get help.
There's no need. They're coming.
You're here. We got word from Raymond. Enough talk. Take the bucket. I'll get more. Alright.
More here. I've got it. Find a safe place to wait.
You're that Lateran. And what of the kids?
I do not believe now is the right time to discuss that. Here, bucket.
Clement! Stop, Clement! Don't go any further!
I advise against going into the scene of the fire right now.
Let me go! Let me go!
It is dangerous without proper protective equipment.
He's right. Are you trying to get yourself killed?
I have to. I have to. Sorry, I lost my head.
I know it hurts, but this is serious. Flowers can be replanted.
We're running out of water. I'll find a few more buckets. We can't go any further. The fire and smoke are too much. You can stay behind. I suggest not speaking loudly to avoid smoke inhalation.
And who's the reason I have to speak?
You don't need to follow me.
I don't trust you. I'm keeping an eye on you.
Wait, did you hear that? The fire continues to burn, and the gun-wielding statue creaks ominously. It casts a scorching shadow on Raymond, as though passing judgment on the Sarkaz who dare to set foot in the Sancta Sacrario, as it begins to topple in the fire. Get back! There is a sharp cracking sound, but the expected pain does not come. The Executor stands before the Sarkaz, his gun held high. This way, before anything else falls.
Your arm. No, wait a second. You destroyed the statue?
I did not destroy it, only changed its direction to prevent it from hitting you. But it's your statue. That does not matter. The fire continues to grow. It's atypical. Although furnishings like wooden benches are flammable, the initial location of the fire was unusual. It's possible that something else caused the fire. What do you mean? What are you trying to say? That is...
Is this where the Sarkaz live? The walls are too thin to guard against the winds blowing across the wastes. It really is chilly. It's getting dark. I'm taking too long. Is that a fire I see up there? A fire now? Looks like there's trouble on Federico's side. Someone's coming. They've gone to help at the abbey. Should we go too? Stefano was good to us, even if we're leaving.
You go if you want to, but keep me out of this. They've got their Lateran friends. Let them help. We're not welcome there.
Well, guess I just got into the habit of hiding myself. Was there an argument? Things weren't like this when Oren and I first came. Don't be mad. Layla didn't mean to say that.
She definitely thought it, even if she didn't mean to say it. She said I stole her winter clothes. Me, a thief. Taking care of this stuff has been my responsibility for years.
Man.
She thinks we're an eyesore. They all think so. They never treated us the same as them. They hate us because Stefano refused to abandon us and return to Laterano. I see them for who they are now. We're the only ones who thought of us as family. I hesitated when Geralt wanted to leave. Now I realize he was right. They want us gone? We'll be gone.
Can we really get out of here though? The scouts haven't come back.
Still better than waiting. Next time this happens, I won't be able to stop myself from punching someone.
It's cold. I spent so much time holed up in a room that I forgot how cold the night outside was. Well, I was going to cut my pay for this. I guess I'll make my own shining fruit dobush for Mostima rather than buy it, if that happens. Time is running out. Found you! It's finally out. Everything is gone, but at least the fire didn't spread below. It could have been worse.
What do you mean it could have been worse? Look at the statue and the flowers. No one was hurt. That's a good thing. What about you, Raymond?
Fine, not dead yet.
You crazy kid, you really charged straight in. Just you wait, Geralt will smack you around when he hears about this.
Don't tell Geralt.
Huh, now you're scared.
Where's the abbot? Did anyone tell him?
Well, informing him is about all we can do right now. Everybody be careful. We don't want any more accidents.
It wasn't an accident.
Federico! Federico! What did you say?
It wasn't an accident. I believe this was an act of arson.
That's not something to say lightly, Lateran. Impossible. Who would want to burn the sacrarium down?
Do you have proof? Like I said.
Huh?
The fire spread in an unusual way. It was caused by a foreign source.
That's all?
Enough to reach a conclusion.
Why you... Wait a second, Raymond.
What? You think this is arson too?
I don't know, but... I went to look for help. People don't hang around this place much, especially you Sarkaz. But I bumped into you. Hey, What are you getting at?
Don't interrupt, Fernand. Let him finish.
I don't mean, I just wanted to ask. What were you doing there, Raymond?
Is this what you wanted to show me, Geralt?
People don't say what's really on their minds around us.
This is our reality, Stefano. I know. I've always known.
No one is wrong. This isn't anyone's fault. We just want to live in peace. But this is how things are. The Sarkaz are doomed to wander.
I told you this place would be your home.
You did.
You said you wanted the children to take root here.
Maybe I was wrong.
You said no one is wrong.
There's a lot on your mind lately, Stefano. What are you planning? Or should I ask, did you have anything to do with this fire? Alright, and we continue on to stage 5, titled God in His Temple. Idols can be desecrated. Faith can falter.
What do you mean? You're accusing me?
That's not what I meant.
What about you? Are you going to accuse me too?
Come now, Raymond. No one's making any accusations.
I didn't start any fires.
Then why are you here at this hour? You don't pray with us. You don't come to the sacrarium. You people don't have any faith.
We may not have faith, but it doesn't mean we have anything to do with the fire.
I had some personal business that took me past this place. Believe me or not. What sort of business?
Nothing to do with you.
Hey! Enough. Is there some rule against us being here? You just want to accuse us of starting the fire, don't you? We shouldn't have helped them fight the fire. We should have let the place burn to the ground. What did you say?
Fires have happened before, at this time of year. It could just be a coincidence.
What a coincidence it would be. You there, didn't you say someone started the fire? Come here.
Yes, I believe this was an intentional act.
And you think I did it?
No, I don't.
You're lying.
I have no reason to lie.
The fire spread quickly. It can be inferred that the arsonist was near the sacrarium. And Raymond was...
Do not jump to conclusions.
What I meant was that anyone who was near the scene is a suspect. That includes all of you and myself. But what are you talking about?
You think we started the fire? We're Sankta. Why would we burn our own sacrarium?
Race is not proof of innocence. I would not hesitate to destroy the sacrarium if I thought it necessary. I did not find any evidence implicating this Sarkaz. Huh, at least you're talking sense.
Senor Federico is right. We can't accuse anybody without evidence.
You're gonna just let this go? It's the sacrarium. All of those flowers that you painstakingly grew.
Please, that's enough. I don't want to suspect any of us.
Clement...
The arguing must stop. The possibility of the Sancta burning their own sacrarium cannot be eliminated. I will continue to investigate until I discover the true culprit.
Hey, Wingman, about what just happened.
Yes?
You're the one who started all that, alright? You're the one who first said that someone started a fire. And you don't fully trust me, do you?
Yes.
Can you give me a little more than that?
Anyway, what I mean is, don't expect me to thank you. I don't.
He doesn't know how to say gracias, Sarah. Poor thing. We can teach him. It's not hard. But I'm a little scared of him.
Who are you saying doesn't know how to say gracias? Hey, Wingman, where did those kids come from? I've never seen them before.
Absolutely adorable.
You don't know them? Should I? Very good. I want to ask you about the Sarkaz population here, and about these two children. What? You? I'll answer your questions. Geralt, the fire... I saw it all. You did well, Raymond. And, we meet again, Reverend Executor. I don't understand. You were standing there for a long time. I thought you didn't intend to show your face. Guess there's no hiding from you. Why did you change your mind? I believed you did not want to see me again. Peace makes one timid. Would you like to pay a visit to our place, Executor? We don't have much, but there's a place to sit down, and you can see with your own eyes how the Sarkaz live here. As for your questions, I'll do my best to answer them.
I haven't been so active in a long time. I've never been good at pursuit. However, I've got you.
The twisted monster lets out a bizarre cry.
Quiet. This is a residential area. You'll bother the others.
It growls back.
Oh, you can talk? This will be much easier if we can communicate.
It lets out a strange roar.
I guess it's not that simple. I'm sorry, but you'll have to stay put. It's dangerous. I'll contact the Iberian Inquisition. I'm sure they know more about you than I would. If you're really sapient, maybe you can talk to their priests. Whoa! Who's that? Stop right there!
I must ask you to stay. The night is cut open by a pulse of light. Lemuen feels a heavy weight that forces her gun down. The shadow that wields the light stands silently, drawing back the exotic sword before the gun that is slowly pointing towards him. As the clouds disperse to reveal the moon, Lemuen begins to see who it is.
Well, there have been a lot of unwelcome visitors today. Can I ask you to stop bothering me? I will be very, very angry if someone gets hurt because we wasted too much time here.
I'm afraid I cannot give away. I must ask you not to stop that pitiful soul. What is it? A noise. Source unclear. You don't have a lot of people. More than you think. Some went out and haven't returned. It's getting late. Go back and have some rest. Are you sure we're leaving tomorrow? Some people haven't come back yet. We follow the plan as it is. We set out tomorrow morning. Alright.
Senor Federico.
What is it?
I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy and hungry too. Are you gonna take us home? I want to go home. I want Mama.
Have gone all day without food?
Yeah. Mama never eats. She says she's not hungry. But we haven't eaten today. My tummy hurts. It's so weird.
It's not weird. Food is one of the body's basic needs, and being deprived of it leads to discomfort and pain.
That's so complicated. Is it normal to feel pain if you don't eat? Has Mama been hurting when she doesn't eat?
If what you say is true, yes, your mother has been suffering physical torment. Enough, Reverend Executor. This is a fact.
Well, he made the kids cry now. And they keep wailing. And crying.
Sometimes the truth is better left unsaid.
Is Mama hurting now?
I cannot confirm your mother's current status.
The Executor kneels down. No one pays attention to the dirt on the edge of his robe and the adornments that represent his status. Federico Giallo gazes straight into the children's eyes.
I am here as an executor of the Notarial Hall to investigate the truth of what is happening here at the monastery and to maintain its peace and order. The disappearance of an inhabitant is within the scope of my mission.
Do you mean you'll help us find Mama?
Yes, I will find your mother.
Really? Really? Yay.
I never would have thought. Will you leave these children in my care for now, Reverend Executor? I cannot make the decision for them. You're right. Will you go with this young man over there, children? Me? But I have to... Well, I guess I can do it, now that the sacrarium's all burned up.
It's the one who even scarier than Senor Federico. Yeah, he's so scary.
You two! That will do, Raymond. I'll take your kids to supper, and it's off to bed. Okay?
But I want to stay with Senor Federico. Sarah, Federico's busy. We need to be good. Oh, okay, we'll go with the scary guy.
Boss! Can you get the kids something to eat, then put them to bed? I can, but where do I take them? Hyman's house. Hyman? I guess there's nobody there right now. But what if Hyman comes back tonight? He'll be fine. Alright then.
See you tomorrow, Senor Federico. I hope we find Mama tomorrow.
I will come for you in the morning.
Yay. Good night, Senor Federico. Senor Federico, Senor Federico.
Yes?
I can't reach you. Calm down a little lower.
What?
Good night.
And this is where I squealed. Sorry.
Quite the ladies' man, aren't you? Kids these days. What's so great about that guy? Hey, wait up, you two! Don't run! Good night.
And this is where his heart grew 3 sizes.
I thought this was going to be an easy trip, almost like a vacation, welcoming some brethren back to Laterano. It didn't sound hard at all, did it? Well, I guess I did have to deal with Oren. But it wasn't too much of a problem. It's not like you can't talk to him.
Certainly, your skills with a gun can solve many problems.
Not quite enough to deal with you, though.
You flatter me.
I'm not flattering you. Should I call you father? You came to protect that curious visitor of ours, didn't you? I suppose you're from Iberia?
I am.
You wear a cleric's robe, but you feel completely different to believers of the Lateran faith.
You're sharp.
Honest, aren't you? I won't beat around the bush then. I don't normally like to be so direct, but... Not one more step forward. Leave. Now. You are not fit to set foot in paradise.
I'm afraid I can't comply. I am needed here for a little longer.
Tough customer. An unusual sword. The style is Iberian.
Your attacks are even sharper than your words. I still harbor hope for mutual understanding, but I concede that you're acting appropriately, given your position. I am curious, though. How do you define paradise?
A place where everyone lives in peace and happiness. Preferably with less unwelcome visitors.
Would you call this place paradise, then?
You're enjoying this chit-chat, aren't you? A group of people have found peace away from the world for 60 years. What do you call this, if not paradise?
Even if their lives are endless cold, hunger, and suffering?
They may be wanting for material comforts, but it's far from endless.
Ah, yes. Laterano will bring salvation. The hard days will soon come to an end. At the price of abandoning some.
This isn't anyone's fault.
Please, don't get me wrong. I'm not accusing anyone. But I've been thinking, what is the difference between us? Is it physical or something else? From the individual's very birth, all that makes us who we are causes our thinking to go in divergent ways and reach divergent conclusions. Is there really such a thing as mutual understanding within this?
Are you really going to ask this to a Sankta? You could try it yourself in your next life, if you happen to become a Sankta. This has taken too long. Can't let the thing attack the residents. I need to take care of this quickly.
No need to be so anxious. I don't really plan on doing anything. I'm here because my kin need help.
You sound sincere, but I'm not in a position to trust you.
You're as stubborn as a former student of mine. It can be a virtue, but it can also be trouble.
I'm curious about the student who could cause you trouble.
One of the best I've ever had. We never saw each other again, after he left Iberia.
I didn't want to do this. I'm so getting in trouble for it. Negotiations failed. Can't say I regret it.
Lemuen's movement is as light as her voice. She pushes away the movement-aiding device beneath her. The lamp that hung on the handle sways in the night wind, falls, then shatters. Light leaks out haphazardly, splashing on the silhouette slowly standing up in front. The dark veil of night is lifted.
You can stand?
Not yet, really. Rehabilitation is going to get longer, and I'm going to get scolded.
I trust you won't push yourself too hard.
You're not in a good physical shape, nor are you used to this kind of battle. Oh.
Thanks for the compliment. That was aimed for your mouth. The people tune out the sermon when it gets too long. Especially if they're already fuming after a long and not very good day. I think I can justify my response based on the provocation.
The Cardinal Aide narrows her eyes. The facade of meekness that built up from years of being bedridden falls apart in the sound of her gun being loaded. Lemuen's light laugh has no warmth in it.
I'm tired. Let's do this quick. I'll say it again. Get out of my way, Father. You may not set foot in paradise.
The thin door plank is pushed open from the outside. The children are still sleeping. The cold wind pours into the tiny, battered house through the gap. The unknown threat sneaks in soundlessly and slowly approaches. Alright, and we have one new enemy here once again, which is the Bounty Hunter Crossbowman. A bounty hunter adept at attacking from long range. A little skilled, but nothing more. Moonlights as a bandit when there is no bounty to hunt. Alright, and let's continue.
I rarely prayed when I was in Laterano. This is not to say that my faith was flawed then, or that I was more arrogant or lazier than I am now, nor can I prove that I am more devout, humble, or diligent now. Because of the environment though, there were many things that I thought were not necessary when I was in Laterano. In Laterano, all that people sought was right there. The holy city's blessing was right there. It was everywhere. The Sankta knew it. Lord, I seek your forgiveness. I swore to welcome all who asked for help, treat all of them with equal kindness, and help them to the best of my ability. But I did not keep my word. I can no longer answer the calls for help. I cannot ask them to stay, for we are short on supplies and cannot afford it. I must choose between one group and another. Choose, yes, I have made many choices. But choosing is wrong, and I cannot bear any more wrongs. I cannot go back on my faith, abandon one to save another, save the many and condemn the few. Laterano, my absent home. Why is Laterano the only home? If betraying the high guidance is the path to what I believe in, if only by accepting the heathen can obstacles be truly cleared. All will be revealed soon. My lord, forgive my sins, if you truly exist. Who's there?
Come now, there is no need for violence. I've been looking for you, most reverend abbot.
Food is in short supply these days. I hope you don't mind. Not that mining would do any good. At least it fills the stomach, even if the taste is nothing to write home about. I don't need to eat right now. Eat. Don't let it go to waste. Geralt, leader of Sarkaz. You knew the two Liberi children. Are you always so direct? Don't call me a leader. I've seen the true king of Sarkaz. A humble hunter is not worthy of the title. Why do you call yourself a hunter? Because that's what I am. I hunt to feed myself and others. I think you have an idea of what's going on here, even though you just arrived today. Not the full picture. You lead the group of Sarkaz that lives here. You were latecomers, but at one point you got along well with each other. Yes, at one point. Now conflict has arisen, and it is likely to escalate, given the circumstances. Which is why we're leaving. Normally, you would have the advantage in conflict with the other inhabitants. There are few able combatants amongst them, which is one of the reasons they took you in. But Laterano's intervention has taken away your martial advantage. Leaving is the logical choice. You're good with the logical conclusions. But I learned a long time ago. Our lives are not logical, and I get reminders about that all the time. The candlelight flickers. The aging Sarkaz casts his gaze on the wall. The shadows reflected upon it have become blurred, one fading into another. We didn't choose to leave because we couldn't live anymore. Before I came here, I never thought we could have a life like this. There were dangers, there was conflict, but we were accepted. We built our own homes, worked for our daily bread. That all might seem normal to you, but it was beyond our wildest dreams. What is the true reason you choose to leave? It's simple. We see the writing on the wall, just like you do. The rift can no longer be repaired. All that's left is to watch things get worse. Today it's just an argument, an accusation. But what about tomorrow? Violent confrontation between the natives and the Sarkaz is likely. Today's fire was a warning. Leave now, and we remain friends to be missed. But if we allow ourselves to be burdened by attachment and fail to make a decision, we will become the Sarkaz that the rest of the world knows. A band of vagabonds who bring conflict with them wherever they go, who are not welcome anywhere, who have no place to call home and no place to go. That's just prejudice. To us, it's a fact. The Sankta have Laterano. But where do the Sarkaz belong to? It's time. It may take a while for the little ones to get used to life without a roof over their heads, but it'll happen. As for those two children, you knew them. I know a little about where they come from. The people at the abbey and Raymond don't. Very few do. I guess they're wanderers who came from the outside. Their family could be dead, or they could have abandoned their children. Stefano has taken in other wanderers before, but this place could hardly accommodate any more inhabitants these days. But someone secretly took the children in. You know who it was. Your secrets can truly be kept forever, especially now, when every single grain counts. Hyman took them in. She set aside a part of her own rations each day, and stole from the hunted game a few times. I covered it up for her when I discovered it. Even then, life isn't easy for them. Where is she now? That's what I'm wondering. She should have come back with game today, but I haven't heard from her. She's missing. We don't know where she is. Whatever happened, I hope she doesn't do anything stupid. Missing? No, this isn't right. What do you mean? Hyman would not allow the children to go out, in order to keep their existence a secret. Arundel and Estara's appearance at the sacrarium was not an accident. Someone brought them outside. Where is Hyman's home? I want to see it for myself. The battered wooden hut was a shelter in the storm for the young children. Abandoned by adults who lacked the means to raise them, they wandered the wastelands and were picked up by a Sarkaz on death's door. The battered hut was leaky and cold, but there were clean clothes, even if a little tattered, and food, even if the taste was not great. The walls did a poor job of keeping the cold out. They could gather all the fabric in the house and wear the thickest winter clothes they had, and they would still shiver at night. But it was home. Mama was there. That was where the children felt safe. The unexpected visitors do not disturb their soft breathing. They remain slow and steady. A twisted shadow is cast over the children. The twisted monster lets out an incomprehensible whisper. Hungry. Eat. Estara rolls over. Eat. Cold. The misshapen monster murmurs incomprehensibly. The stationary shadow begins to move. In the moonlight, the monster's powerful tail reaches forward. It brushes the children's soft cheeks, leaving behind a wet scent. Then, it falls into the soft, meek little prison. Still sleeping soundly, Estara and Arundel instinctively lean towards the comforting scent. Cold.
Mama.
Hungry. Eat. Cold. Cover. Cold. Cover. Aaron. Sarah.
What have you done, Your Excellency?
It is improper to eavesdrop on a confession, Reverend Executor.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I wasn't listening to your confession. Of course, you also know that's not what I'm talking about, nor am I asking who you sent to ring the bell, how you plan meals for the monastery. I'm asking about the smell coming from the sacrarium up there.
You can tell by the smell? Is the Griffin Arsenal still in business?
As far as I know, it still supplies practice equipment for various educational institutions, including firebombs.
Only the holy city endures.
I feel your pain. If only Federico learned subtlety and discretion, right? Still, it's just a corner of a building. It's far from over. Everyone can return to Laterano safely. What do you think?
You're talking to the wrong man. I taught everyone how to dismantle the abbey's old weapons and make use of them. Fuel is short, while the winter is long. But if you think I instigated a fire, I won't argue.
Come now, don't talk like that. Why don't we sit down and have a chat? Find a solution that we can all accept?
Chat? Solution? Huh. Is there a solution that doesn't involve turning my back on a human being? I already explained my convictions. Would you truly accept a compromise? A group of refugees sought sanctuary at the monastery 7 years ago during a great drought. I closed the doors to them. They stumbled, almost crawling back to the wastes. It wasn't the first time I saw a sight like that. But I swore before the Lord that it would be the last. Am I wrong in my convictions, Executor?
No, of course you're right. I understand your pain. There are limits to Laterano's power. The laws are imperfect.
You...
I think and therefore I doubt. For all its imperfections though, Laterano is good enough for me. I don't want to see her peace and harmony to be threatened by anyone or anything. I'm sure you can understand that. It would be easier for me to persuade my colleagues if we reach an agreement here, and if you refrain from causing any complications. My mission would be easier if none of you lifted a finger. Just because not everyone can go back to Laterano doesn't mean that no one should.
Laterano is to you as this place is to me. There is no need for any further talk between us. I ask you to leave me to my confession.
Raymond, it's getting late. You should get some rest.
Clement, I just had something to do.
I'm really sorry about today.
Don't think too much about it. We're leaving anyway.
Alright. When is that?
Depends on Geralt. We'll be leaving tomorrow morning, no matter what. Probably after Matins.
Matins.
Oh, do you know where Fortuna and Delfina are? I was going to, well, I was looking for them.
Did Geralt not tell you?
What? What are you talking about?
Delfina, she's gone.
Was that a word of farewell? Or am I mistaken?
You possess basic language skills. It seems my previous assessment was incorrect.
You are Sankta.
Indicating a certain level of sapience and cognitive thinking. Communication appears possible despite deviation of physical form. Unknown level of contagion. Unclear if movement patterns change over time. Unknown level of danger. Tutorial Hall regulation permits elimination of potential threats of unknown danger level in order to safeguard the rights of the citizenry. No sign of resistance. No apparent will to survive.
I'll try to make this quick and painless. The monster stands in place. The path before it is blocked. It cannot go back to the past behind. Justification, anger, pain, all consumed within the no longer human body before it can manifest itself on the hardened hide. Before an obstacle it cannot surmount, the monster loses the strength to fight, but cannot let go of its last bit of pride. It stands silent, like a statue. Wait! Executor? No. Garrow. Hyman, I had half a mind to start praying like Stefano. Praying that the monster the Executor was talking about wasn't you. It was the logical hypothesis. It has now been confirmed. Move aside, Geralt. No. You're interfering with official business. I know. You can point your gun at me, pull the trigger, bump off a Sarkaz criminal. You won't get any complaints from me. But I can't let you kill Hyman. Explain? I can't give you a correct or proper explanation. All I can say is, look behind Hyman. There are 2 children sleeping beyond the door. Children? My children? They have no idea what happened. They're full of hope that you will find their mother. They trust you. The Sarkaz's rough, weathered hand presses against that of a Sankta. There is no brotherly intimacy, no trust or understanding between friends. But the Sarkaz's hand presses the Sankta's. The muzzle of the gun drops inch by inch. Don't do it, Executor. Don't do it unless you've reached a conclusion that you're satisfied with.
Alright, and we continue on to our final stage for today, which is number 6, titled Serenade. The Black-Horned Angel prays for Dawn's arrival. Let's begin.
There is no sign of fighting inside the house. The children are still sleeping. Hyman wouldn't harm the kids. You can be sure of that.
Not yet. I don't know how long she can maintain her reason.
Thank you. How do you intend to tell the kids about Hyman when they wake up?
They have a right to know.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss.
Is that a suggestion?
No, Federico. I hope you don't mind me calling you that. It was you who spared Hyman. It was you who earned the children's trust. The choice is yours. Feeling the weight?
I'm not wearing any extra weights.
I'll take that as your personal brand of humor. What are you looking at?
Do you know what this is?
A piece of cloth. We use stuff like that to make blankets for winter, but I've never seen this pattern before.
It's a common Laterano pattern. Underneath the cloth, the twins' breathing is long and steady. The Executor looks at it for a while, then turns his gaze to the simple desk beside. There is a small clay jar on it. Other than the children, the flower in the jar, not yet fully wilted, provides the only color in the room.
A flower? It's pretty dried up. Must have been there for at least 2 days. Is this Hyman's hobby? I don't know. I thought I knew the people who followed me, but I'm not even sure. I must return to the Sacrarium. I have enough information to pass judgment on the Sarkaz. And what is your judgment? First, there is something I must know. Have you had any interaction with Oren Argiolas? Oren the Nuncio? Yes. Not much. He went missing soon after he arrived. I see. You call yourself Geralt, but that is not your real name. Well, you can say... Who can say if a name is real or not? I've used it for 10 years. I've been Geralt the Hunter ever since we started living here and built our first house with those broken planks. How you identify is none of my concern. You can be Geralt. Then... A strange sense of urgency causes the words to fall from the tongue. Federico does not give him time to speak. He says the name that has not been spoken in public for 10 years. A mercenary who made his name in the Khazil Civil War, wanted by the Notarial Hall, 32 confirmed crimes on his record, responsible for annihilating 3 of the Holy Lateran's Executor maniples. Holst Tiffendel. You knew. Yes, I knew. What I can find out, others can too. This is your final warning. Your identity is no longer a secret, Geralt.
Meanwhile, a veteran Laterano commando.
Target structure confirmed. Hard to believe the Sarkaz would really want to live in an abbey of ours. Ready to move in? No rush. We'll wait for the order. Let's wait and see. We have the area surrounded. Same as that Sarkaz team we nabbed earlier. Not a single one of them is getting away.
Yes, sir.
I got some food. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. Sorry, Serpilia. I'm not hungry. Well, I'll leave it here. You might start feeling hungry in a bit. Gratias, Serpilia. What for? Nothing in particular. I just wanted to thank you. Eat up and go to bed if you really want to thank me. I get off earlier that way. Really? Then I'll go to sleep. Sorry, I can't sleep. I figured. Are you sure you should be here? I'm feeling much better now. What I mean is, you don't have to stay with me if you don't want to. Watching you is my job, girl. I'm not exactly a saint. I won't run away. Who knows? The better a girl behaves, the more you have to keep an eye on her. Do you know what those black horns on your head mean? Do you know what's waiting for you when you're brought back to Laterano? No, I don't. Of course you don't. You can't empath with me, can you? Oh, don't look like that. I was just trying to scare you a little. His Holiness is pretty kind, all things considered. No need to worry too much. I'm not worried. Whatever punishment I receive, I deserve. What's that sound? Is there someone outside? Oh, whatever it is, it's none of your business. Stay put, I'll check it out. Huh? Strange, there's nobody here.
You're really letting your guard down. It hasn't been that long.
The way you talk still makes me want to punch you. I'm wondering how you operated in Victoria. Did you spend all your time making enemies for Laterano, Oren?
I resent that characterization. No one takes his job more seriously than me. Speaking of job, you're ready on your side, aren't you, Serpilia?
Maybe.
I need a less ambiguous answer. We move at dawn, if there are no complications.
Strange, Serpilia hasn't come back yet. Things seem to have calmed down outside. But what's that sound? Serpilia? Is that you? Oh! Shh!
It's me.
Raymond?
Come with me, Fortuna.
Finally outside.
Why are you here, Lemuen?
There was a bit of trouble. I ran into someone unpleasant and let him get away. It sounds even worse when I put it that way. I came because I heard a commotion over here. I'm surprised you would make a threat like that.
Threat?
Wasn't it? Then what did you mean?
I was only telling the truth. Correct judgment is based on the truth of the present situation. I don't need to threaten anyone.
I think I get it. But there is nothing more unpredictable than people. Even we fail to understand our own thoughts sometimes, and it's not unusual for our own actions and thoughts to contradict one another. Experience tells me that things rarely develop in the most logical way. Setting that aside, the situation is more complicated than expected. We need to exchange information for Federico. You mean the monster we saw was the missing Sarkaz by the name of Hymen? The state that you saw her in was different from what I saw, and if that's the case...
She has gone from being impossible to communicate with, demonstrating no capacity for thought beyond feeding instinct, to being able to communicate in a limited manner.
Evolution.
That is a reasonable hypothesis. She has undergone a transformation. During a mission, I read about a religious cult that operates on the Iberian coastline.
The Church of the Deep. You seem to know a lot about them, Federico. Have you seen similar creatures or on previous missions?
Rarely.
But you have. That makes things easier to explain. I had reason to read up on it a while ago. We may be working with the Iberian Inquisition concerning the cult. They've caught His Holiness's attention. I didn't expect to run into them here.
It's a difficult problem.
Difficult and dangerous. I doubt I would have gotten the upper hand if that visitor wasn't trying to do more than slow me down. This is irritating. I really need to get back to form. Even Serpilia will start looking down on me at this rate. Back to the situation at hand. Are you sure you should have told Geralt all that?
He has a right to know.
Alright. What's the plan now?
Investigate.
What?
Fires don't start on their own. Something is not right with the fire at the Sacrarium. And the flower... No, I can't be sure yet. First I need to find what caused the fire.
Sorry to wake you at this hour.
It's okay, a lot of us couldn't sleep anyway. I've let everyone know, we can leave at any time. But didn't you say we were leaving in the morning? What changed? Is it because of the fire? I guarantee you it wasn't Raymond who did it. We don't need to...
No, I don't suspect him.
Then...
We have a situation. I'll explain later, but we can't wait until morning. Still no word from the team we sent out?
No, it's strange. They might have run into trouble. Should I take a few guys and check it out?
No, we'll go together. Make sure everyone sticks together. No one wanders off on their own. I'll scout ahead. Have the old folks come with me. You take the rear guard with Raymond, alright?
Something's not alright. I can see it on your face. What's going on? You're anxious. Why? Because of the Laterans?
Nothing gets past you. You're always cautious, Reed.
Stop, that's not my name anymore.
Sorry, I just... Geralt cannot finish his sentence. He realizes why his old friend could tell something was wrong at a glance. He realizes he had his hand on the hilt of his dagger. He is turning from Geralt the Hunter to the mercenary he once was. Sorry, it felt too much like our Casdell days. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I have a bad feeling about this. Call it a hunch, but we should leave as soon as possible. Yes, as soon as possible. Take the ones who are ready. We go now.
Like I said, you're the boss, your call. But the last time you had a hunch, it was about finding a place and having a better life.
We'll find it, I swear.
I believe you. You found this place for us.
I hope it goes smoothly. I'm sorry, Eileen, but I can't take you this time. Will you blame me for it? What would you think if you could see this? Who's there?
It's me, Geralt. Are you busy? There's something you should know. Oh, that old man is intimidating, isn't he? This mission has gotten seriously complicated. Sarkaz, a fallen angel, and a mad abbot. Give me a break. And I'm here with Federico of all people. Is that a good thing or not? Just in case. Oren, it's me. Are you gonna do it? You've got the guys there, right? I suggest you look into this Bishop Stefano. Something's not right with him. It could be dangerous. A hunch? Maybe. I have a bad feeling about this abbey. But I guess that's not the right way to put it. It's because things aren't that bad. You've been here longer than I have. Don't you feel it? How could there be a place where everyone works so hard yet feels no hope at all? That's such a sad thing. So I told Raymond about Delphina and Fortuna, not knowing that he didn't know. He got very worked up. I'm concerned. Geralt? Are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's not your fault, I just didn't have the chance to tell him. Where's Raymond?
He ran out after asking me about Fortuna. He said he was going to get her back. They have Laterans guarding Fortuna. Are you sure about this?
The Sankta won't allow it. Raymond was born here. Things are different out there. He doesn't understand our relationship with the Sankta.
I remember you've said that relations between the Sankta and Sarkaz are
bad. It might not have been so bad if we were all just civilians.
Won't Raymond be in danger?
I'll find him. Thanks for telling me.
There isn't much I can do. I'm beginning to think you were right, Geralt. You should leave this place. Go now, it's the right choice. Don't wait until tomorrow.
That's the plan. You seem anxious, Clement. There's something else happened.
I'm fine, I'm just... Today has been quite a day. It's a little too much. Go, Geralt. You were right. You shouldn't stay here.
Something's off about you, Clement. Come down. You...
Boss, we have a problem.
What is it?
We went the opposite way from the scout team as you had ordered, and we saw troops approaching the abbey.
Troops?
Laterans, Sancta and Pontifica Chorus. I fought them many times and know them from a mile away. They're going to surround us. They never intended to let us go. Geralt draws his fingers back with a start. A moment later, he realizes that it's because his fingertips are too cold. So cold that the leather sheath seems to be burning. Clement. I'm here? What do we do? Don't worry. I've been running for too long. This is just putting things back the way they should be. All will be settled. Tell us what to do, boss. We're prepared to fight. Thank you for spending all these years with me. All of you. Don't talk like that. What are you doing, Geralt? What are you doing? Put that knife down. Calm down. I'm perfectly calm, Clement. The Sarkaz exhales, clutches the dagger, and pulls it out from its sheath. It burns. For an instant there, he had difficulty holding on to his old friend. My mind has not been so clear in a decade. If only blood can end it all, and there is only one thing left to do. Don't worry. The blood of Sarkaz is not shed lightly. Alright. Now, we do have one new enemy here to add to the roster, but first, surprise surprise, this is gonna be a stage that we are gonna be including, or rather the battle stage will be included into this narration. Now, I will not be introducing our enemy here first, or rather our new opponent. I will let the stage do its thing. As always, I will let it play out. Once the boss appears, I will slow it down while the boss is on stage, and then we shall proceed and introduce our boss. But let us begin. This is the team. Doesn't really matter. It is halfway a trust team or a trust farm team, so don't pay too close attention to it. But yeah, I will shut up and let the stage do its thing.
この矢の指し示す方向は勝利ですわ。ついてきて。ここが戦場。アップルパイ。黙っている。聞いてるけど足元を見てみなさい。ディオポーネント切りつく。気配を感じたら剣を抜きます。今日は隠せないわ。祈りは不要です。怪我はさせません。破壊は最も単純な行為です。前に進むぞ。ディオポ切りつく。絶望の匂いにカムフラージュできないわ。
自分が背負っていた使命は覚えているけれど、僕がそれを達成することはすでに不可能だと認めざるを得ない。いやいや、君のように完璧にこなすのはね。君は敬意を表すべき相手だ、ドクタ
ー。That is not who I expected to have on the victory screen, but I'm fine with this. Thank you, Friston. Anyway, as you might have noticed there at the very final part of the battle, our new enemy or special enemy for this stage was Fortuna, fallen angel. A fallen Sankta girl, the innocent and ignorant Fortuna. With her dimmed halo and black horns, paradise has closed its doors on her. What has actually changed, and what has not? But we shall now continue into the after part.
Raymond? Wait, Raymond! What are you doing?
Taking you away from here. I know what's going on. I won't let them take you. No need to be scared. Come with me. We'll help you.
No, I'm not scared. Raymond, let me go. You don't get it.
Sorry, was I hurting you?
I'm okay. I decided to go with them to Laterano, Raymond.
What? What are you saying? Did they threaten you? You'll die if you go there.
I deserve to. Let me go, Raymond. No one threatened me. I killed Fina. I can't run away from this.
Delphina? That was an accident.
No! I don't want to hear that anymore, especially from you. An accident. An accident! Of course I wouldn't point a gun at Fina on purpose. It was a tragic accident, but she's dead. Dead! She'll never open her eyes again. She'll never speak to us again.
Fortuna, calm down. You'll hurt yourself.
I want to calm down. I don't want to be crying like this. Why doesn't anyone blame me? Why does everyone call it an accident? As though that means Fina's death didn't matter. I killed Fina. What difference does it make that it was an accident?
Breathe. Don't hold it in. Feeling better?
I'm sorry, Raymond. I shouldn't be like this, but I don't know what to do. I only know that I can't go. I can't run away and pretend nothing happened. I can't accept that it was an accident. This is my sin.
No more talking.
Don't worry about me, Raymond. It might not be that bad. Serpilia, that Laterano emissary who came today, she was kind to me. I wasn't mistreated. Maybe they'll lock me up when we get to Laterano. I have horns now. I don't know if I'm Sankta anymore. It doesn't really matter if I'm not. Anyway, I'm fine, Raymond. You...
No.
Huh?
I can't let it happen. I can't just leave you like this, Fortuna.
Raymond? What are you...
Hush. Hold your breath. Someone's coming.
He hung up. When did you get Richele over to your side?
That's an exaggeration. He's always been the type who only does what's good for him. He's even better than I am at looking out for himself. No? I feel like I'm being watched.
Has your paranoia finally caused you to hallucinate, Oren?
I'd rather believe that there really is someone watching in the shadows. Just a joke. Don't look at me like that. Where's the fallen angel you were watching?
Sound asleep, I would think. Stay on topic. What were you saying about pushing the schedule forward? Not that you can't, but that's not what we agreed on. Why the sudden change? Give me a reason.
What difference does it make to you?
Not much, which is why I can choose to not cooperate.
Unless my memory deceives me, I have command of the troops.
I'm prepared to write a report. You're anxious, Oren. What's the matter? This is a secret operation. It's not so easy to deploy troops. If the matter of the Saints didn't catch His Holiness's attention. Even then, His Holiness seems to have noticed something, and specifically sent Federico. You know how hard it is to pull wool over Federico's eyes.
Do you really think you succeeded?
Probably not. But I would say I know him well enough. There won't be much trouble if he doesn't pursue the matter. Our goal is just to stop everyone who wants to leave, isn't it? On the other hand, the beast is out of the bag the moment you give the order to attack.
Federico isn't concerned about the means, only the end.
Oh, you think so? Let me just make it clear that if you get on his bad side, I can't stop him.
So much for camaraderie.
A message? Who could it be at this hour? Oh,
Who is it?
see for yourself.
Bring Oren to the narthex immediately. Federico.
So much for the wool.
Everything you talked about I'll take care of. Do as I say. We take control of the abbey immediately. Get all available hands on it.
That urgent?
An old man has given the last 60 years of his life to the abbey. He went so far as to imprison Lateran emissaries for the sake of those Sarkaz. He suddenly became open to compromise in desperate circumstances, even proposing something so ritualistic as a final farewell. Why do you think? That plus some Sarkaz are not entirely unknown, and visitors hiding in the shadows. We have to act quickly. I've got a bad feeling.
Take control? What does he mean? Why?
Don't you understand? The Sankta lied to us. I have to tell Geralt. I knew it. Those Laterans never intended to play nice. The situation has changed. It's dangerous for you to be with me. Find a safe place. I doubt they'll do anything to you immediately.
Wait, Raymond. I changed my mind. I'm coming with you.
My, what a coincidence to run into you two. I'm so glad you're safe, Lemuen. Any news?
You look concerned, Executor Richele.
I found something that I thought warranted investigation. It has to do with the abbot, but anyway, more investigation is needed. What about you, Federico? What are you doing? Work. Okay, that much is obvious. What did you find? Something to do with the Sarkaz? Yes. I heard last night's fire was started by angry Sarkaz. Is that true? No.
What's this? Rehearsing your stand-up comedy routine?
Enough jokes. Jokes? Oren and Serpilia will be here soon. Well, by the sound of it, you knew Oren hid on purpose from the get-go. Obviously. That's just his luck, isn't it? He just can't seem to get away from you, whether at the Summit of Nations or now.
I allowed Oren to act of his own accord because the complicated situation at the Sanctilaminium Ambrosii called for a plan B. But maybe he needs a reminder. So, what's going on? I was told to come immediately and bring Oren. Ah, there you are, Oren. Finally decided to show your face.
It's been a while, Lemuen. Can you be a little nicer to me? We're partners on this mission, after all.
It's because we're partners that you're still able to talk. Whatever your plan was, the situation here doesn't call for that kind of aggression. It's time to stop, Oren.
Couldn't you two pretend you didn't see anything like that guy over there? Oh, I would prefer if you didn't drag me into this. I will deal with Richele when we return to the Notarial Hall. Gratias, Oren. As for you, Oren, if you truly believe there is a need for you to operate independently, you may try to persuade me. Well, since there's no one else here, I'll cut straight to the chase. Did you really think I wouldn't notice that you were trying to let those two kids go? A fallen Sankta and a Sarkaz. Even a blind man would notice. You... I've been patient for far too long.
Are you criticizing my methods?
Not at all. Not at all. But I have my own methods. We've wasted too much time here. It's just we need to consider how to get this done quickly, with no loose ends. And so you decided to deploy a special forces unit? You make it sound so easy. You know full well that deploying troops and giving the order are two different things. Do you know how hard it was to come up with a justification that even His Holiness could not rebuke? Now, I have one. The Sarkaz boy Raymond? Arson of a sacrarium is a serious offense. That's before I mentioned that he's Sarkaz. You're perfectly justified in seizing him and taking the investigation into our hands. He was not the one who set fire to the sacrarium. Your justification is baseless. I have no need of your intervention until I uncover the truth. The truth? Huh. Is the truth really important? What is more rational and logical than taking control and securing order? Did you not consider it, Federico? Is the truth really so important to you?
Did you not consider the possibility of the locals resisting Oren?
I didn't think you'd say something so silly, Lemuen. If the Sarkaz want to resist, so much the better. Who's there? The sound of knocking echoes through the hall. The door creaks open, and the unusually bright rays of the moon pour in through the gap. There is a figure standing in the moonlight.
Senor Federico.
Clement?
I finally found you, Senor Federico. I was asked to bring you this.
By whom? What is... The rest of the sentence vanishes into the night. The tall and thin figure approaches, his back to the moonlight, his head bowed. It is as if all the light in the room had converged upon him, but the overly bright light also casts a dark, suffocating shadow. Now Federico sees what Clement is holding. What he said he was asked to bring to Federico. A dagger. Old, but no less sharp for it. Once hidden in the belt of a certain someone. Next to the dagger, there is a package wrapped in cloth that has been dyed a deep shade of red, from which some sort of liquid continues to drip. What is it? It is...
The sinner, host Defendel offers his head freely. The sinner had admitted responsibility for all the crimes and the evils committed hitherto. He has now paid his price. All that remains is a band of insignificant vagrants. Will the Reverend emissaries of Laterano show grace and mercy? Senor Federico, I bring you Geralt's last words. He begs you to take the head of the fugitive host and his weapon. In exchange, spare Fortuna and Raymond. Spare the other Sarkaz.
And that is where we are gonna call it for today. I swear I am not leaving you on this part intentionally, but considering this is already a long enough episode and I was originally planning to stop on stage 5, I don't know which one is worse. Boy. Anyway, what can I say but, well, Happy Christmas? Jeez. Sorry. Bad jokes aside. But no, for real, for those of you who are watching this on Christmas, Happy Christmas. Sorry for this depressing tale. Was really not planned, But yeah, anyway, considering, yes, it is Christmas right now as this episode is going live for the first time, this will not matter for people in the future, but the next part is going to be out in probably like 2 or 3 days, plus minus, cannot tell right now, considering, you know, Christmas and stuff. I'm recording this a day prior, or rather was recording this a day prior for the story sections. But yeah, anyway, enjoy. You won't have to wait too long. Next part, like I said, 2 or 3 days from now, and probably gonna be also the final part. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be working on our dear Federico here to promote him all the way to E2, aka Executor Altar, so we can have his full file and voice file. And depending on how significant the OG Executors, like I said in part 1, the operator record on him is, we'll probably also be including that one, either at the beginning or at the end of the episode. I cannot tell right now. I'll see once I finish the story, record the story, and then see about his operator record. So we'll see where we're gonna be squeezing that one in. But that will be for the next part, the potentially final part. And yeah, hopefully you guys are gonna be looking forward to that one, because oh boy, did we end on something. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening, and hope you enjoyed. As always, if you did, please consider leaving a like on the video. It helps a lot in the algorithm. Leave a comment as well, of course, helps even more, and interact with all the things, and recommend it to other people. Will help even more. And if you want to support me and my work even further, there are memberships on the channel if you want to pick any one of them. And as always, no video will be barred behind a membership. It is purely there just to support me and my work. So yeah, thank you once again. Enjoy the Christmas holidays, and I'll see you in the next part. Oh boy. Don't really know how to end this after what we went to, so have a good one, everybody. I will see you in a couple of days. Oh god. Bye bye.